This hard drive is making all kinds of sounds and none of them good. When I opened it up, I found there's a fine powder everywhere. And the heads, the drive heads, are completely gone, just ground into powder. And deep grooves had been worn in the platters. And so it was quite surprising, really, just how efficiently heads had been ground into dust. There's the filter, the air filter. You can see how blocked that is. It's packed solid with fine powder. Now, to understand how it could turn into such fine powder, you only have to consider that the platters are spinning over 5,000 times per minute, 5,000 revs per minute. So that's, every rotation grinds it down a little bit more. So 5,000 rotations per minute. That's, presuming this drive took a minute to fail, or was running for even 5-10 minutes, while people were booting a computer trying to get it to work or whatever, working out that it wasn't actually going to work. So that's 10, 20, 30,000 revolutions of the platter, with the remains of the head bouncing around inside there, getting ground and pulverised, ripping a big gouge in the platter. But nevertheless, I was surprised. I wasn't aware that that kind of damage would cause such fine powder. Very impressive. I had to tell the customer I couldn't recover anything from that drive. There's the deep grooves in the platter. That was on both platters, top and bottom. So I don't know what happened if one head let go, hit maybe a power surge or something might have caused the arm to just bounce off the surface of the platter, grab the head and rip it off, and then that would have caused vibrations, which would have picked up the other heads and just ripped the whole thing asunder. Now, when these things are operating properly, the head never touches the surface of the disc. There's a fine margin of air between the head and the platter. In fact, that margin is so small that if a particle of smoke was to get inside the drive, it could jam between the head and the platter. That's how fine the tolerances are. But if that head touches the platter, it's all over. It'll destroy it. It'll damage it. As we can see here. There's the remains of one of the head holders. The little triangle was a piece that held one of the heads. Yeah, that's such a deep groove. I wonder if you put a needle on that, whether it'd make any sound. It would make a sound, but what would it sound like? It would sound like a tortured hard disk. In case you've never seen these platters in good condition, they have a mirror finish. Perfect mirror finish. No imperfections visible at all. In fact, you'll see one later in the video where I show a damaged drive, but one that didn't self-destruct like this, as a comparison. There's the armature, the arm, with the heads, destroyed heads or missing heads on it. So you can see those little triangles there. Each one of those has a head, and it's one head per side, so 2 heads per platter, one on each side of the platter. And here's the new, or here's a relatively undamaged, or not physically damaged, it's had an electronic problem of some kind. And you can see there's no dust in there whatsoever, and what little specks of dust you can see are just from me having opened it. But when that was unopened, it was pristine, no dust in there whatsoever.